It's JP the Outlaw here to go over some news and rumors for the WWE. The top stories for the day: John Cena, free agent. Mauro Ranallo coming back to the WWE. And also, jumping into our first story, Shelton Benjamin coming back to Raw. So, I think it's been like maybe 7 or 6 years where you had Shelton Benjamin off of WWE TV. He traveled to Indies. He did some work in Japan, Global Force Wrestling when they were still new. I think this is a great move for Shelton. I mean, you could do a lot with Shelton Benjamin. You could throw him inside of the mid card. I would rather see him in the heavyweight picture, where he's going up against the likes of AJ Styles, maybe even Shinsuke Nakamura. I think those two matches would be a pretty good match for Shelton Benjamin going to SmackDown. I think he'll be one of the top guys if they book him right. If they could book Shelton Benjamin to be a decent threat on WWE TV. Of course, last year he was supposed to get signed due to the draft. The draft went down, and like he was the first person to come back. I think it was him and Heath Slater for SmackDown Live, and not Heath Slater. Kurt Hawkins. There we go. Him and Kurt Hawkins was the first two to come back. So I always thought, Shelton Benjamin should definitely be one of your top guys. I mean, enhancement talent. I don't see him doing that. I can see the WWE giving him the title just based off of who he's been in the ring with. He's been in the ring with your Triple H's, your Shawn Michaels, your Randy Orton's, your John Cena's. This guy can go. I don't see why you wouldn't give him the title. Moving on. Mauro Ranallo comes back to the WWE. He will be working with NXT. I think this is one of the best moves for NXT, just on play action alone. I wouldn't mind him replacing Todd Phillips. And I think him and what's my man? Nigel McGuinness would do good on commentary. I don't even consider Percy Watkins. He's just a bum. But I think they would do good on commentary for NXT. I could see them, too, also doing the UK events, which I think would be great for that brand. I wouldn't mind seeing Mauro Ranallo on the UK special. Just imagine him calling a match between, I don't know, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, Wolfgang. Imagine him doing calling matches for them guys. I think that'd be great. Now, given the fact that he got beef with JBL, I see them trying to keep them two apart. Eventually, I wouldn't mind seeing Mauro Ranallo on a SmackDown or on a Raw or SmackDown, whichever one without JBL. You could always put a Corey Graves over there on SmackDown just to get the commentator over, get the commentation over. So, Mauro Ranallo coming back to the WWE, good things. I'm so glad he got over his depression. That is a crazy disease. I think people underestimate that disease, and it is really dangerous. If you are not in the right mindset, and then you talk to somebody that isn't wrapped too tight, you could be thinking some crazy thoughts, man. And I don't want people doing that. Crazy thoughts are not good. Our last story that we're going to go over, and I've been waiting. I waited a while to do this. John Cena, free agent. Now, we all know that WWE and SmackDown and Raw attendance has been horrible. We all know that. We all know that their ratings are poor, and we know John Cena give you a big pop as far as ratings go. Now, I was under the impression that they would have Brock Lesnar on more than what they had him on, and that would hold over SmackDown, like last year when you had Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, and that pretty much held over Raw. I think where they went wrong at, they didn't have anybody to replace Goldberg outside of Kurt Angle, but you use Kurt Angle as your GM, and his storyline is building. He might be back in the ring soon anyway. So, how do you help the ratings on Raw and SmackDown? You make John Cena free agent. John Cena's been going, I think, ever since WrestleMania, when him and Nikki Bella went up against Maurice and The Miz. We haven't seen John Cena on TV since then. A lot of things has happened. A roster shakeup, which I thought was going to help Raw more than it did SmackDown, but it seems SmackDown is benefiting more and using more of their talent than Raw is. So I'm gonna pause right here. I think John Cena is a pretty good draw as far as ratings go, but you're hindering the rest of your Raw roster. You got Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and fucking Finn Balor. You know, you're taking away from those guys alone. You're still building a Braun Strowman. You know, I think John Cena popping up on Raw would be bad for all your top guys collectively. One, that tells me that you don't have enough faith in a Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose to carry the show over. All three men are on that brand. And they're in their prime. I don't see why you need a John Cena who's not out of the woods yet, but he's definitely not your top guy when it comes as far as who you're pushing into the future. I would definitely like to see Cena in a different capacity than what he's in now. But this free agent thing may be big for Cena. While I was thinking of this, and I was thinking of how would I book Cena going into this. You know, you could always run it as, you know, Super Cena. You know what I mean? You got Cena on SmackDown. He beats Jinder Mahal for the title. He goes on a world tour between SmackDown and Raw as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. There's not too many people that could do something of that nature. You know what I mean? When I think of who's left in the WWE that could do that, it's probably Triple H. Probably Triple H. I couldn't see just randomly Randy Orton. I couldn't see a Randy Orton bouncing from Raw to SmackDown. Okay, so what you do with Cena, of course, you give Cena the title after he beats Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam or Battleground. He will go on to then fight the likes of The Shield, all three members, and you can put him up against Finn, Joe, and Bray Wyatt one more time. Now, I don't care how you do it, but that would definitely put these guys over. Them all going up against Big Match John for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship would not be a bad thing. Now, how else? Now, I wouldn't have John Cena lose the title. And if he does lose the title, he loses to somebody on SmackDown. Because he's bouncing back and forth through rosters. You can always have John Cena be a defending champion. You can always do that. John Cena's Open Challenge, I think, was one of the best segments on Raw in the past couple of years. And the one he did on SmackDown. So, again, you can have John Cena being that fighting, defending champion going up against, again, half of the Raw roster, half of the SmackDown roster until you get to Survivor Series. Then you take the title off of John Cena, you put him up against somebody like, again, Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins. You put him up against that next level, that next superstar that's going into the future. I wouldn't mind him going up against Finn after you take the title off of him. I think that story itself would do great for business as far as the WWE. So that's pretty much it for news and rumors. I got to get the hell out of here. I will be back later today or tomorrow with more news and rumors. Please check out my review of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Don't forget, we got Dream Match Saturday coming up this Saturday. I'm not even going to tell you guys who's in the match. It's going to be good. Also, you can take a first look at my Universe mode, which is also up there on JP Outlaw Labcast. If you got some free time, check it out. And as always, be safe. JP Outlaw is out.